ERAM 6, ERAM 6, ERAM 6, ERAM 6.
What's going on, Brooklyn College? Welcome back to another episode of Listen to This. I'm your host, ERAM 6, coming at you live from the BK where you can have it your way pretty much any day. 410, baby, forever though. Everywhere I go, I let them know who raised me. Love my city down, dummy. Baltimore babies, how we feeling? Brooklyn, how we feeling? Cali friends, y'all good? And all my peoples in between. Everyone good? Yeah? That's good. I hope everyone had a wonderful time over spring break. I don't know about y'all, but your boy was really dragging ass to the finish line. That break was very much needed, but we are so back, baby. We're feeling refreshed, energized, motivated, and today I'm very excited to introduce my first guest from the Brooklyn College community. She is a very talented writer, and her energy is quite infectious. I'll let her introduce herself to y'all right now.
Hello, is this thing on? Hi, everyone. My name is Shania. I'm a double major in film and classics at Brooklyn College. My favorite color is purple. I have 5 brothers, I own 2 ferrets, and I eat ice cream with a fork. So do with that information with what you will.
I have many questions.
Let that sink in. Let that sink in.
The fork, though. Why the fork? Why?
It started out as a habit, and then I just couldn't stop.
But then it doesn't it melt through the
No, it doesn't melt because you have to keep it at a certain consistency.
Oh.
Yeah.
Technique.
No, there's physics are involved in this.
Oh, very advanced. Very advanced.
Very advanced.
All right. Well, hello.
Hi.
Welcome. You look lovely.
Thank you. You look amazing.
Thank you. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Of course.
Yes. I hope you had a nice time over break.
It was so needed after the horrible winter we had.
Yes.
The sunshine, the outfits, the wind, the cherry blossoms coming in, small buds. But, it's new life. There's growth.
Yes.
A time to, people do spring cleaning. I do spring refreshers.
Okay.
I bring back things that I know I couldn't do in the winter back in the spring.
Okay.
So now I go on my walks and now I'm doing my yoga. It's so refreshing.
I love that. I love that. Back into the routine.
Yeah.
I definitely get into hermit mode as well in the wintertime.
No,
oh my gosh.
You can't contact me during winter. I let Patrick Star under his rock.
Yes.
That's really what I go into. Just full hibernation.
Right.
Sandy, Sandy in that episode of SpongeBob where she was hibernating.
Oh,
and
right.
They were trying to go into her cave and they were trying to wake her up. That's me. You cannot. No.
Right.
No.
I am just so happy to feel the sun again because oh my gosh, even we had a few days here and there when it was cold, but it's not the same as spring being in full effect and actually getting to spend time out in it. But anyways, yes, welcome.
Yeah.
So remind me again your majors.
So my major, I'm a double major actually.
Ooh, double.
Which would, I think they really scam you. I got
T.
I got no T because so I took up classics out of interest because I was really into the self and society course and the professor was amazing and I just loved talking about the classics. And so I went into the classics department and said, how do I get a minor? But then they come at me and say, oh, you could do a major real quick. You could do a double major real fast. You just need these 6 courses, and it's going to be quick, so efficient. And they sounded so convincing. I was like, you know what?
They always do, don't they? They always do.
Let me do it. So now I'm stuck with a double major. Film was always my first choice. Well, actually, that's a lie. I just lied straight to your face. I was going to be a creative writing major at first, and then I realized I'm not writing a whole book at the end of the semester. So I decided to go with film and use screenwriting as a concentration because writing is my outlet. And classics was just another interest in having a backup in just in case of anything. It's still something that I like, but there's still so many routes you can go with a classics degree. But film and specifically screenwriting will always have my heart, for sure.
Because you're a storyteller, I presume.
I am a storyteller.
All right. So I have a couple questions about that.
Of course.
Yes.
Go ahead.
So as a storyteller, what function does that serve for you, like in your real life? Like, is it just strictly imagination, or are these, characters going through experiences that kind of mirror your real life? Are they based off of anyone in real life?
Great question. Great questions. So storytelling for me is like the way I breathe. It's how I go through life without losing all my screws.
Yes.
It's something that definitely keeps me grounded, and my characters are definitely manifested through real life experiences, whether that be family, friends, or versions of myself throughout time that I felt I was like, oh yeah, she was relatable in middle school. Let's write about her. Or like, oh, her high school experience was crazy. Let's put that on the page. So really my inspiration just really stems from my real life experiences and also music. There's this lovely thing called maladaptive daydreaming. It's the most powerful thing ever. And I mean, I go in it, headphones on. I'm walking, but I don't know where my destination is, but I'm walking. And the whole time in my head, there's something playing. There's like an imaginary scene playing out, and I'm like, oh,
you do that too? Oh my
gosh!
gosh!
So sometimes it's like I do it so much that my therapist gets concerned. Of like, so we want to differentiate the real from the fake. Like the imaginative from reality. Let's keep that distant. I'm like, no, yeah, it's fine. Mind you, I'm spacing out mid therapy session. Like, oh my gosh, I can't believe. Once I was younger, I would really maladaptive daydream about Troy Bolton, and instead of Gabrielle, it was me. And I was like, that the T should be on my neck. I should get that necklace. So it's such a your brain is such a powerful like mechanic and tool to use for imagination, because it's really just anything that pops up into your head. And I use that to my advantage for just writing down any single thing that I can come up with.
Right. And I would say that narrative, like we are narrative beings as human beings. Like even if you don't necessarily look at it through the lens of like storytelling, you are telling yourself a story about your life every single day. Every single day you are telling yourself a story about yourself, the way you perceive the world, whatever it is. So
100%.
I think that storytelling is such a powerful medium, not only because you're able to exercise that part of your functionality, but also it allows you to peer into other people's worlds for a moment.
Yeah.
And in my experience with reading books and watching films and stuff, like sometimes there are little nuggets, like little golden goose eggs left behind for you. Like this is still this person's world and their creation, but it feels almost as if they left something there for you to find and bring with you into your world, if that makes sense.
And I think, and to all my writers out there or creatives, let's just be real with ourselves. There is no such thing as an original story. Everything will constantly be borrowed, refreshed, renewed, just constantly in sort of a repetition, but always distinct. We are all different people, all different individuals, personalities. We will take one story and twist it in so many different ways. How many times have you seen the Romeo and Juliet trope be done over and over and over again in so many ways? That's just like, we can still see it because it follows a a distinct like 3-act pattern of the same Romeo and Juliet. However, the way that writer wanted to perceive it is just like, in this way, for example, how about Juliet doesn't end her life? Or how about my Romeo is actually a woman?
Oh, hello?
Hello?
I'm tuned in.
Yeah. So there's little things like that like pique your interest and you're like, oh, I see what you're doing here. I'm invested. I want to know more.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So like my specific storytelling is just, it's an obsession. I can't go a day without writing or thinking of an idea of something to write or a story to tell. And I think that's what drew me to classics, is because specifically in the mythologies, these are all stories that have been orally told and retold and so embedded into this culture that it's now involved in their religion, it's involved in their coinage, their clothes, their arts, and it went through an entire empire. So
when you say their culture, this American or which culture are you?
So ancient Greece civilization and Roman Greek civilization, that's my concentration specifically.
Love Greek mythology.
Greek mythology is so crazy.
So good.
It's
so much tea.
It's so much. It's so messy. I love it because it's so messy, and I like I like that it also follows its own structure. So Homer, a real poet, shout out to him. He made the 3-act structure. Well, I wouldn't say made, but his work of the Iliad and the Odyssey collectively has this 3-act structure that has been followed. That's where we get the hero's journey from,
right?
With Odysseus in the Odyssey, because he starts off from Troy and he has to find his way back home. But we start in the regular world. I don't remember from memory, but just know he starts from the ordinary world, then he goes on into the underworld, and then he's meeting people along his journey, and then he finally ends up home. It's just a full circle. So that's where many, and I mean many writers still today, are using that 3-act structure in their work. And I think for me, it was a great benefit in my for me to choose classics, so earlier on as a screenwriter, because there are screenwriters who don't know of the hero's journey, but you have these executive producers and directors asking.
That are expecting the hero's journey.
That are expecting the hero's journey. So it really was just like a lucky pick for me to be so interested in these mythologies and know so much about this journey and the structure that now I can easily implement it in my writing, but also have my own voice in it. And I do think it also reflects in my own writing, like heavily. And I've always been inspired to write or rewrite the mythologies, for sure.
Very exciting stuff.
Yes.
Well, with that being said, are there any projects that you're working on right now or something special that you'd like to share or talk about today?
I do. So I'm currently in my senior thesis year. #senioritis. It's been real slow.
You almost there.
I'm so close. But my senior thesis is called Medea. It's
not like hello, but like
no. And every time I say it, I always expect Tyler Perry to pop up somehow. But no. Oh my gosh, why am I blanking on his name? The author, like Euripides. There we go. Euripides is Medea, heavily inspired. But now I've decided to write a prequel to her story for my thesis. I'm at page 90 in my screenplay. And today I have brought with me the first half or the first page of the screenplay. And I would love to do a table read with you.
With me?
Yes.
Me?
Yes.
Oh my God. Okay. Yes.
Okay,
let's do this.
So for everyone listening, screenplay or screenwriting structure is definitely different from regular prose. Everything is show, not tell. Heavy visuals, and table reads, they provide an outlet or a helpful way of reading screenplays so writers can understand the flow, of their script? Is the dialogue working in certain parts, or should they, cut some things out? So you're gonna play Medea.
Okay.
And then I'm
Hello.
and then I'm gonna be reading the action lines.
Okay, perfect.
Ready? Are we ready?
Yes, but since this is radio, I think I'm gonna spice it up for y'all a little bit.
Oh,
Spice. Go ahead, though. Go ahead.
Okay. Let's see. Exterior, Isle of Colchis, night, 323 BC.
There is no justice in the eyes of man.
Sorry, I'm excited. Time stands still as rain pours down on an active battlefield. Hordes of men wield their weapons against each other, shouting war cries.
We consume chaos and war, just as we give birth to order and peace.
A soldier slashes the throat of a man. Droplets of water and blood glide over the sun emblem on his iron chestplate.
We are a poison of greed and hatred.
We pan across the battlefield. Medea, the unconventional priestess, holds a sword out in front of her. Her hair is soaked from the rain with hints of dirt and grime on her face. Espiritus, the tragic prodigal son, is kneeling in the sand. The large... Woo!
It's okay.
Spring allergies are real, guys. It's a real thing.
It's all good, Bookie. We can edit that.
And I'm a victim. I'm going to start from Espiritus.
Okay.
Espiritus, the tragic prodigal son, is kneeling in the sand. Oh my gosh, somebody pass me a Benadryl.
Yeah.
Espiritus, the tragic prodigal son, is kneeling in the sand. A large scar bleeds diagonal along his face.
A toxin so great, it can corrupt even the purest of hearts.
Medea lifts her sword to swing. Thunder roars and lightning flashes. End scene.
Woo! Chills. Chills. I'm seeing, unfortunately, because I kept making Tyler Perry jokes, I am visually seeing Medea, but in like a Game of Thrones setting. Like, that's what I am seeing. But
not a sword, but it's like her Glock, and she pulls out her Glock. She's just like, my Angelo.
But no, this is really, like, I am entrenched. Like, I'm in it. Like, yeah, I want to know more. I love Greek mythology. Mm-hmm. And I'm familiar with, like, the Iliad and the Odyssey and Oedipus the king, if you're familiar with that messed up ass.
Mention that king.
Right. Oof, terrible. But
terrible.
I actually don't think I know much about Medea, so could you tell me a bit more about that and where you got the inspiration from?
Medea was the first time I read Medea, I think I cried. Medea is one of those characters that you just can't forget ever in a book. Like you after you read the book, you sat with it. There's something that you stick with, and Medea was a person that I stuck with. Medea, she's the firstborn of King Aeetes, who lives in Colchis. So King Aeetes, if you're familiar with Jason and the Argonauts, their journey, his journey follows up until Medea, where he gets the Golden Fleece. Now, the Golden Fleece is a sort of emblem or symbol of kingship. Mm-hmm. Jason is trying to get his own kingship back from his uncle. And Medea, basically, she's a sorceress, like a witch, priestess. Mm-hmm. She follows the goddess Hecate.
Ooh, I like her.
She practices, favored by the goddess Hecate and her father. He's connected to the god Helios. So she has a lot of already a lot of gods and goddesses power. She has favor from Hera. So she's that bitch.
She's a bad bitch. She sounds like a bad bitch.
So in the story where Jason shows up, he goes through his trials, yada yada yada. Medea falls in love with him, but not
with Jason.
Yes, with Jason, but not by her own accord. She's falls in love with him via Eros. You know, he shoots the arrow. She sees Jason. She's like, I want that. I'm going to help him. So she goes against her entire family and steals the fleece for this man. Right. Right. So after she steals the fleece and they go out to leave, they're escaping, she ends up killing her brother. And not just like a regular stab. No, she beheads him. In other versions of the story, she cuts him limb by limb and then throws his body parts off into the sea as they wash by. And her father's watching this and is in absolute disbelief.
Right.
Yes. Now, the gods don't like this at all.
Of course.
Hera loses her mind and she's like, oh no. So they set their track off course. And so now Jason, he's lost like half of his crew. Medea, she lost, now disowned by her family and her own kingdom, is with this man. Now, as they're going around, again, totally lost and trying to get back home, they end up, I can't remember where, but they end up by King Creon. And by this point, Medea has 2 kids for Jason, and she's just like, she's content. She's content until Jason goes off and he meets Creon's daughter, the princess.
Don't say it.
And he proposes.
Oh, of course he does.
Marriage.
Of course he does.
And King Creon is not upset with this because Jason is quote unquote a hero. He has some prowess. He has the golden fleece. You know, son-in-law. You know, come on in. Medea hears this and she loses her mind.
Absolutely.
She is in a deep depression in the first part of the actual myth. Everything, mind you, everything else before that, that's Jason and his story. We meet Medea when she's at her deepest, darkest part in life. And that's when I start to understand her a bit more because she's very articulate in what she does. And she's articulate but also mischievous and smart. She knows how to get her way, and she's very convincing. So she convinces Creon and Jason to let her stay one more night before she leaves or forced to leave. And so that night, she makes this wedding dress out of poison and gives it to her children to give to the princess. And both the princess and her children die.
Oh. Jason
gets back, but she's already gone off this chariot of like snakes and fire. Because, again, she's the granddaughter of Helios.
Right.
So she gets this gift. So I'm like, I like that. I want her own story. And I search all over, and there are some versions of the story that do her justice. There's some versions that I'm just like, not really. But then I'm thinking, why did she kill her brother? There's no explanation as to why.
Yeah, and so brutally, too.
And
like,
so brutally.
for a man?
For a man.
What?
And so that's where I got the inspiration of giving her a prequel, giving her her own hero's journey of how she came to be this powerful priestess with so much power. And that's why I'm so in love with it, because there's so much freedom I get to give her an original story, an original background, instead of her just being what historians have called and scholars have called just a foreigner, a wife, and an outsider. But she becomes not only like a loving sister, you know, I make her a loving daughter, I make her the firstborn daughter in this trope, in my version of Medea. She becomes much more than just the sorceress that got away. And yeah, that's where I got my inspiration from. And now you know the myth of Medea.
I love it. I love it. I am like I'm genuinely so excited to like. Please tell me you're gonna finish this. Is it finished? Is it done?
I'm at 90 pages. It's 120 pages long. So I'll be finished it's supposed to be finished by the end of the semester.
Mm-hmm.
But, we're only going through the second draft, but it will be finished for sure.
I am very excited for you and for this story.
Oh,
truly,
thank
yes,
you.
because we really don't hear that much about. It's always like the Greek like male heroes or the male sons and gods and whatnot. We never really hear much about the female ones except for like I feel like I hear about Hera and like Athena and Aphrodite, but like, yeah, literally never heard the story of Medea. So thank you for that.
Of course.
And yeah, I look forward to seeing where you go with this.
I'm very excited. This is definitely a passion project for me. For sure.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that first scene was very you put me there. I'm in it. Like,
thank you. I know I've done my job. That's really
Right.
telling. Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right. So I don't know if you got a chance to listen to the first episode of this podcast. If not, totally fine.
The
But-
call out. That's a reminder to the listeners to also go re-listen to that.
Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. No, I'm kidding. But honestly, like, thank you for being here because I feel like I'm able to just like flow much better. The first one was hard because it was literally just me like yapping, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like. But anyways, in that, I was introducing just the topic of the show and creativity as a whole and what it means to me personally, and just ways that it manifests in like life in general for me. And I was just wondering, outside of the arts, outside of writing, how does creativity manifest for you?
Outside of the arts, that's such a complex and great question. It's definitely, I see it all around me in different areas of my life besides just my writing. And I try to find my creativity through different sections and crossings that happens, either an overlap in my culture, an overlap in my friendships and things in their arts that they show me, or in just things that I naturally consume. We are constantly on our phones, so so the creativity is always hitting me. It's always hitting me in either in a small way or a big impact. It could definitely be like through speech. I love poetry. Love poetry. Definitely spoken word. I also love nature.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mentioned that I go on walks, and I like to purposely get lost in my park. Less local. It's a huge, huge park. Like at this point, it's a forest. But I get lost on purpose because when you're in that setting and all you can hear are just the sounds of nature in general, there's this sort of peaceful zone that you get into. And your mind just slows down and you calm down, and it's a full body feeling of control, but also being present. And that way, now your mind is like in this area where you feel content, and all the stress of like the day-to-day movement washes
It's
away.
just kind of gone.
It's gone, and now your mind is refreshed with new things, and then you get this excitement, that energy. Creativity can flow through energy, and the energy is transported out through you. That's how it is.
Yes.
Creativity is energies. It's auras. I hate how Gen Z and Gen Alpha has turned that word into something totally crazy, but. Yeah, it's auras, it's energy, it's connectivity for me. And it's something that I see all the time in different spaces, places, faces, just finding it in anywhere that I can, but also just keeping it at a certain pace.
Yeah, I really like that answer, and it's similar to how I view it as well. Like, I think that creativity is integral to just human function in general. Like, you use it every day for like problem solving that you don't even think about it really because it's so ingrained in how you operate in this world. But yeah, looking at it as like an energy that passes through you is something that I very much like feel and relate to. So thank you for sharing that.
Course.
Yeah. And also the nature part of it. Mother Nature is a painter. She is
Nature.
She is very creative.
Mother Nature was the original Mona Lisa. Okay? Mother Nature is so beautiful, and there's things that you can't even explain.
Yeah. Things that seem like they shouldn't go, but they go. But they go, yes.
Like, first of all, minerals. No, really? Well, minerals? What do you mean Mother Nature made the most perfect square underneath your house? Like, what do you mean she made the most beautiful crystal amethyst you've ever seen?
Yes, and like geometry is present in the world. Like, it sounds like it's great. No, it's really not. If you actually look at the design of things, there is symmetry there, and it's crazy.
There's symmetry. There's highlights. There's fractures.
Right. Contrast, shadows, highlights. She's doing all of it. She's
doing all of it. She's picking the colors.
Right.
And she's adding heat. She's taking away heat. She's cooling.
Right. So much. So that is a very good point to bring up. I'm glad you mentioned that because nature is
nature.
She's
Art.
the ultimate creative.
Yes.
But anywho, I wanted to ask you about this very quickly because you mentioned it kind of towards the beginning about like maladaptive daydreaming and how and how sometimes it might be a problem, like but like I resonate with that really heavy because sometimes I get lost in like the worlds that I'm building in my mind. And my question for you is how do you personally find the balance between your creative world and reality? Or are you still working that out?
That is a funny question. I'm sorry. Because part of me really doesn't want to find the sort of line between creativity and reality. I feel like they can coexist.
Yeah.
In so many ways. And it's so hard. Because it's like you want to keep yourself grounded, you want to stay in reality, and then when you open TikTok or Instagram, you look at the news, and you're like, the reality
gets obliterated.
And so you want to go back into the creativity side of it. You want to stay in the creative world because it's your world, it's wholesome, it's your space, but you really want to keep yourself realistic. So I'm finding myself struggling with not hating my reality, and so instead I'm trying to cross worlds, almost like the Upside Down from Strangers. So I want the worlds to cross over each other, and instead of keeping my reality just full of baseline things that I'm constantly seeing, I'm keeping my reality creative. I'm going to art galleries. I'm reading more. I'm trying to go to museums, opening my reality up to more creative things instead of just the baselines of what we're fed, actually. Consumerism. Ugh,
Right.
Hate her.
Yeah.
But you have to, it's hard. It's so hard because I'm still working on it, but you really have to step out of that bubble that they paste you in and go beyond of what you're being spoon-fed.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. For me, it's like balance has been a very heavy theme of my life, I would say, this past year. I feel like life is teaching me more about that in different ways. And I agree with, like, it doesn't have to be separate things. They totally can coexist, and they often do overlap and intertwine. And I think that with my creative practice, my thought is, like, how can I bring more of the, like, wholesomeness of the creative inner world into real life?
Yeah.
And that's something that I reflect on when I, like, my preferred medium is, like, music and stuff, but I also, like, write and, this now. But, yeah. Have you ever thought of it that way? Or, like, are there things that you do to kind of bring those two worlds together?
Bringing those two. Well, one, I do use I take my literal friends and put them in scenarios I write down.
You're in a live action now.
No,
Go.
they're in a live action. I write fan fiction about my friends. And we read them
that's
out
cute.
loud, and it keeps my creativity going. But it's also giving people that I see often just a different experience that again still not real, but real enough where it's a sense of it's just their name. It's just their name. It's just their character, and their character is a real thing. They're animate. So just placing that on just words on a paper is beautiful. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. I love that. Also, it sounds like you have really amazing, supportive friends.
Oh, they're amazing.
I love that.
I love them.
Yes. Shout out to supportive friends.
Shout out to supportive friend groups.
Yes. So when talking about creativity and reality, right?
Yeah.
There is the reality that I feel like as creative people we are often reminded of like just making it in the world and the hustle culture of it all. And
I'm sorry, you said that and I kept thinking of the one question. It's like when you get your degree, what are you gonna do with
right, so what are you gonna do with that?
So what are you gonna do with that?
Right. Right.
Don't play in my face.
Right.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do with your degree? What do you live?
Exactly.
Get a job? Right? What else do you do with a degree?
Right.
No, I'm gonna paint it like Van Gogh and then put it in a museum. That's what I'm gonna do with my degree. That's obviously what you want me to do. I'm gonna roll it up and make paper mache with it. That's what you. Oh my gosh, it's such an annoying question. I'm sorry, but continue.
No. That was like I was just wondering what your thoughts were on like creativity and hustle culture and like as a creative like because I often feel like we are kind of subconsciously fed this idea that unless you are met with like huge commercial success, your creativity is not like professional enough or valid enough, which I strongly disagree with. But I was just wondering what your thoughts were on creativity and hustle culture and just things of that nature.
Now, hustle culture, not to say like, don't make your money. Go ahead and get your money.
Absolutely, yeah.
But it's very toxic in some areas, and it can be very toxic for some people. It slows down or like distills the creative process for a lot of people. Outside of being a writer, I am a mentor or peer mentor for like high schoolers or first year or like freshman college students.
Beautiful.
And hustle culture has shape-shifted their minds. They want their success and they want it now. They want it with their name on it, printed, stamped, approved, and dignified, that their version of success is somehow made within a 1 to 2 year span. And that is something I'm deeply concerned about, because not only have we lost the love and nurturing for the arts, but we've just distilled it down to money.
Right.
Now the hobby that you love so much has now become a job. And I've always been like a big advocate. It's like, if you hate it, don't do it. But if you lose the love for it, that's worse than death. It's for me, like if I stopped writing, that's me literally I would stop breathing. So when you add such like a toxic aspect to the creative process, you're dimming its light, and it's so sad to see. Again, these are young people, way younger than me, that just like, how do I get an internship? How do I get in contact with this person? How do I start a job? How do I start a job application? How do I fix my resume? Well, you didn't even register for your your fall classes yet. Let's pause.
Right.
Let's take it a step back.
A step at a time.
Hi,
even.
my name is.
Right. Yeah.
Bring it back to why you loved it, why you're a creative in the first place, and nurture it over time. You can only do that with time. You cannot do that within a 4 year span. And perfectionist is really the evil of the creative process, because you just want to make sure that you're giving the thing that you love most justice, because it's like your baby. You want to take care of your baby.
Definitely.
But a toddler does not grow up in like 5 months. It may mature a little bit, but it's still a little wobbly, still learning how to walk. So you have to nurture it. You really have to let it bloom. And just hustle culture can really just dig it down and just belittle it in such a horrible, horrible way. And for any creatives out there who are really trying their best to find their voice or feel like they're not doing enough or moving too slow or stagnant, you're not. Trust me, you're not. I've met so many professors, I've met so many professionals who have quote unquote made it. And they said their success didn't come until they were like 35, 40, 50. We are still young. We are still figuring it out. And that is okay. That is
Always
more than okay. Yeah.
Where you are is always okay. Yeah. Good shit, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, honestly. Like, I think that there can be a sort of balance. Like, I don't necessarily see anything wrong with, like, having a drive and an ambition.
Yeah.
Like wanting to be whatever your definition of success is. But that's the thing. You have to define what that is and what that looks like for you.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of the time we're going off of like these huge commercial, like wildly successful people that we see online or something, and we're comparing ourselves to that. And that's like so not fair. Like it really is like a gradient and a spectrum. And wherever you fall on that as a creative person or an artistic person is valid. And that's totally fine. Like,
it's totally okay.
Yeah.
Not everybody can be on a yacht.
Right.
And working on their script. Not everybody can be doing sold out shows, back to back to back. It
takes time to.
It really takes time.
Like what you see as like a huge success or a celebrity that just popped out of nowhere. No, you didn't see the years that they spent working toward that, and that's part of the process and the journey too.
Yeah. I don't want to be like Ryan Coogler famous. Shout out to him. But I just want to be recognized enough where it's like, this is my writing, this is my voice, and people have seen it, and that's it. I don't really want a full Oscar-worthy, performance and shout out, but I just want it enough where my work is still in production and I'm still writing for people and universal experiences. Don't put me in front of a camera, please don't. No. I can be behind a microphone sometimes. Like, I'm okay with that.
I'm with you on that. Yeah, I'm with you on that.
But, yeah, the spotlight isn't always, like, worth it.
Yeah.
And plus, it's hot. On the spotlight. That's
all
so
them
much,
lights.
all them heats.
Nah.
Like, it's so much.
Yeah, I feel that. Well, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts and your rich inner world with me today.
Of course.
I have no doubt in my mind, based off of what you shared with me, that you will end up exactly where you see yourself. I love this for you. I'm so excited to see where you go from here. And yeah, thank you.
Gosh.
Yes.
Stop. That means so much to me.
No, I so mean it, like, truly.
Imposter syndrome can get to creative sometimes, and I'm in that stage where I'm like, is this gonna work out? But I love it so much. And
that's how I know you're going to do just fine. Because I can tell that you love it, like the love for the game really, like that's where I would say to start looking, y'all.
Yeah.
Like, look at what you genuinely love.
Really look at it. Look at what you love. And try not to make it something like a job.
Like, don't let it feel like that. Like, of course, like building a career doing what you love is like, it sounds like a dream, right? But if it ever gets to a point where it starts to feel like a job that you hate,
and you have to clock in too, no.
Yeah, you don't want it to feel like that. But definitely start looking at what you love, like what fills you with energy and joy.
And so much joy.
Yes.
And then also think about things that you hate. Think about things that you don't want to like be around your writing or your creative process. Keep those boundaries like very distinct, because there could be a slight overlap, and then all of a sudden you have writer's block.
I hate that.
It's so annoying.
All right. Well, on that note, I think that's it for today's episode, y'all.
No.
Yes, I know. I've had so much fun, like, just chatting with you about this. Seriously, thank you so much. Before we go, though, please tell the good people where they can find you.
If you are also a Brooklyn College student and you see me on campus, don't be shy, say hi. You know, I now have like really short hair because I just got a haircut.
Which looks fabulous.
Thank you. But oh yeah, my tag, now that I haven't heard of me, is ctrluvrr, ctrluvrr. Yes, and it's ctrluvrr.
There we
Right.
go. There we go. All right, y'all. This has been Listen to This with EiRAM 6. Thank you so much for listening. Bye-bye.
Bye.
EiRAM 6. EiRAM 6. EiRAM 6.